It's 3 a.m. I just got home from work. For those of you who don't know, I work at a porn store, so I see a lot of interesting characters that come in. But this guy came in at 4 p.m. when I started my shift, and he was there until midnight, and then 1 a.m. approached. And he had spent the entire 9 hours, buying porn, $2,000 worth. It took me 2 hours to ring him up, and now I'm tired. Oh yeah, that reminds me, I got 2 flat tires today, so fuck full moons, dude. Hey TikTok fan, you guys ready for some more work story time? Well, a couple weeks ago during finals, a guy ran into my store, like literally like sprinted down the stairs, and grabbed a $300 silicone butt, and I chased him. I jumped over the counter and chased him outside. Like I even tripped on the stairs. My work keys flew out of my pocket. I was after this dude. I almost pulled him out of his car, and he screamed, "Get away from me, you're crazy, leave me alone." And I was like, I scared the crap out of this dude and risked my life for that ass. Don't do what I do, I'm crazy. But yeah, so I realized in an adrenaline moment, I will pursue you. It's the 4th, and I'm at work, and I had a guy call my store, here at the adult store, saying that his 18th birthday was happening soon, and he got his mom's permission to come in. People try to bring their toddlers in sometimes. One time, a dude punched an old man, and the old man just bought a root beer and left. A guy asked me what would happen if he jerked off with battery acid. One time, a man came in and started holding all the toys up to his body and making elephant noises. And I told him to leave. And then he stole from me. I don't know, but apparently half the people in this town like redheads. On Wednesdays, a guy comes in to make love to the couch. I don't like people. Alright, since I'm at work today, I want to talk about something dumb. One time, somebody told me he used this on his gun, and it broke. This is a silicone lubricant for your butt. Ready to hear about Bucket Guy? I usually see him on Sunday night. The first time I ever saw him, he had this big orange Home Depot bucket, and he starts asking me about various chores that he can do around the store. He never buys anything. He's usually here for at least an hour, doing God knows what. Well, one day, he took the master lock off my back door, which made me panic. And then at the end of the night, he just came back and handed it back to me. One time, he came in with a big jacket full of shopping tags sticking out. And I said to him, "Hey man, you forgot to take your tag off your jacket." And he straight up goes, "These tags aren't attached to my jacket." Pulls out like 3 miniature Calvin Klein makeup bags. And he tried to give me one. So I'm like, "Bucket Guy, I don't want your stolen merchandise from Ross." He tried to flirt with me once, and I told him I didn't trust him. I always watch him like he's gonna burn down my store. He still keeps coming back. I'll see you on Sunday, Bucket Guy. I've had some gross stuff happen to me at work. This one guy came in once. I don't even know if he spoke English. He was just looking through the movies and like touching himself through his hands. And I said to him, "You gotta stop that." I yelled at him 3 times, which is probably more than I needed to. And I said to him, "Get out, like a dog. If you're gonna act like a dog, I'll treat you like one." And this one time, like the first year that I worked here on Valentine's Day, we have the adult movie arcades. This guy hid in there after close, and when I went in to start cleaning, he just was there, just standing in the hallway with his Oscar Mayer wiener. I was just clutching my mop handle like a baseball bat. I don't think I've ever yelled at someone so passionately before in my entire life. One time, a guy came in who looked just like Elton John, and all he was wearing was a knit shawl. I don't know. People are weird. Because I work at an adult store, a lot of people make assumptions about me. And one of those is that I'm just down to do it with anybody, including them. It's one time a guy came in to buy whipped cream chargers. Then he called back the store an hour later and asked if we could have sex later. One guy asked my coworker if I would take money to sleep with him. Ken the firefighter would call my store whenever I was working and ask if I wanted anything. Like anything. Just don't want to accept gifts from him. Another guy, who's probably my favorite guy, came in and told me about his fan fiction that he's writing with his self-insert. That's My Hero Academia. Just these two animes crossed over, like One Piece or something. I think he tried to ask me out too, I just can't remember now. One time I had 3 guys that regularly flirt with me come into the store at the same time, and they were all fighting for my attention, and I just made it extremely awkward. Y'all want to know how I got my job? Sometime back in 2018, I was going through a rough patch. And one of my good friends from London that I studied in Japan with was visiting. He had this self-help book that he was really, really into and recommended to me. He brought me to Barnes & Noble to order this book. Before I even got into the store, this girl that was sitting on the patio sipping coffee with her friends stops me. And she goes, "Hey, I really like your skirt. And I wore it today so that I could show you for this story." I say, "Thanks, I got it in Japan." And then she starts speaking to me in this British accent, rambles off this Japanese phrase about squirrel spleens. I was confused at the time. Then I found out she was also from London, same as my friend. And she goes, "Hey, you want to come to goth night at the bar tonight?" And I said, "Yes, absolutely." And then I had been looking for work for quite a while at this point, and she just casually mentioned to me that her workplace was looking for an extra person. She told me it was kind of a shady job, and I was like, "What do you mean? Where do you work?" "The adult store." She said, "You should apply. I really like it. It's a chill job." And I was pretty desperate at this point, and it just felt like the stars aligned. So I applied, and then I got the job. It's been an interesting day today. Just had a guy come in, younger guy, go up to the movie theater, and ran into his adoptive father, and I saw them immediately run out. And apparently his adoptive daddy-o used to say, "Oh, I'm going to the strip club, so I need all these ones." I don't think he's been going to the strip club. I think he's been coming here. After work this morning, so that means time for some work stories. Today I'm going to talk about weird phone calls I get. This one guy called the store and asked me if we had any stepdaughter videos, and I just told him most likely. It's a common genre, come in and look. And he in depth described to me why he wanted these stepdaughter videos, because his stepdaughter was coming home from college and he wanted to show her one. One time, this kid called the store and my boss answered, and we have caller ID. So he reverse looked him up on Facebook, found out this kid's name, and then when the kid called back again, because apparently this kid was a serial prank caller, he called the kid by name and said he was going to tell his mom. I've had a surprising amount of people call and think we're a phone sex line. A lot of people call the store asking what the biggest dildo size is that we have here. And you know what? It varies. I'm looking to have sex with a person. And I'm like, this is not who you call for that. And this woman kept asking for this specific brand of toy, and it just sounded like she was mumbling. And I asked her like 4 times to repeat it. I even asked her to spell it out loud for me so that I could help her. And when I repeated back what it sounded like I was hearing, like, she said to me, "Are you mocking me?" And I said, "No, I just can't help you. I'm gonna have to go. I don't get paid enough for this." So a big part of my job involves managing the adult movie arcades. And a lot of people ask me questions about them, so I'm here to deliver some answers. So you pay a flat rate admission fee to go into a dark series of hallways with booths that only have curtains. And you have access to like movies, adult movies, dirty movies, we have you sign the receipt that says you're not gonna, like, do anything sexual. Most of the time, if you're not doing anything illegal, we won't interfere, but we got all kinds of cameras back there. I've seen all kinds of stuff. One time, this guy, who I like to call the snitch, came up to the counter and told me there was a short dude selling himself for money back there. So it was my task to watch all the security cameras and figure out who it was. There were like 3 or 4 people that day that kind of fit that description. So I was sitting here watching every single camera with my honey barbecue Chex Mix and my root beer, just desensitized to watching these people watching adult movies, doing their thing. I never found the guy, but I'll never forget how it felt to have to look for him. I've cleaned up some really gross stuff out of there too. One time, somebody shit on the floor. I've cleaned up vomit, drug needles. I mean, like, condoms are normal. I had to clean up a lubed up Dos Equis bottle. I find clothes back there a lot. Like, people will just leave their pants or a pair of underwear or girly lingerie. One time, I found an adult diaper in the trash can. Every time I'm back there, I'm like, I can't believe this is a part of my job. My parents would be so proud of me. My boss told me a story about how he went to clean up the parking lot one day and he saw a banana in the parking lot and he wasn't thinking, so he picked it up with his bare hands and it was lubed up. I'm just really concerned about people sometimes. So I'm just getting off of work, and I had an interesting conversation with my boss. There's been a lot of people interested in working for us lately, and I just wanted to tell some stories about some of the people that come in to apply. Just a couple days ago, I had a lady come in, like a younger lady, maybe about my age, and she came in 8 minutes to close with her friends and asked if we were still hiring, because apparently she had heard over a month ago that we were hiring and we had already hired somebody. One time, my boss said that a guy came in to fill out an application and he wrote everything, including his name, his address, and his social security number for this job. And then he went into the corner of the room and started shoplifting, and my boss caught him. And my boss was like, "You need to put that back." And the guy was like, "What are you talking about?" And then he goes, "Should they meet you here or at your house?" And he goes, "What do you mean?" He says, "The police." The toy fell out of his shirt, like, just fell out. Bucket guy asked me for an application once, and I was like, "Bucket guy, you really think that we're gonna hire you?" One time someone came in to buy Whippets and asked for an application. One guy came in desperate to use our phone because he missed his court date. I don't even remember what he did wrong. And then he tried to ask for an application. This guy didn't have a phone or a car. He was scared that he was gonna go to jail. Hey TikTok fam, it's time for work story. This one's about people that burst my bubble, my personal space bubble. Just last week, I had a guy just hover over my shoulder while I was looking at my TikTok and just surprise me and go, "Your TikTok blowing up?" And I'm like, "Yeah, actually, if you act up, you'll end up on here." 2 different older gentlemen come in and ask me for help, and then proceed to get closer and closer to me, and then do that thing where they touch you on the side, like they put their hands around you a little bit, and then they just gently touch your waist. I hate that. Don't do that. Don't do that to anybody. Don't touch people. One of those old dudes followed me into the bathroom. I didn't close the door. I kept the door open because I was just washing my hands. But he walked in there and was like, "Oh, I just wanted to see what a real girl looked like." Almost karate chopped that dude. There's this one dude that comes in and he's like a regular guy. He's like, "Come here, give me a hug." And I'm like, I'm not a hugging type, which, you know, it depends on who you are. It's just like this. Like, I had like my arms in and he like put his arm around me.
was like, what the hell?
Just don't touch people. Don't touch people while they're at work. Should be common sense. I'm real excited to share with you what happened today. I had a guy come in earlier, and I had given him a bottle of water, and he came back today to give me $1 back for the water that he took, and then proceeded to ask me if I knew about any escorts. You don't get business cards to give out to other people? We're not connected in that kind of way. This guy came up to my coworker when we were working together last week, and he goes, "Ooh, yummy." And then as he's walking away, he goes, 9 inches. What the heck? My coworker came up to me and says, this guy came down and talked about there being a wild three-way in the arcade, and one guy was pushing oranges out of his butt. And he goes, nuh-uh. And I tell him, did you see an orange up there? And lo and behold, there was an orange on the sofa. My coworker gave me a picture of the orange on the couch, and it's a piece of art. If you've been really bad, you end up as a sofa in our arcade. So I posted on my Twitter as a no context sofa if you want to check that out. This is where bad furniture comes to die. Another day, another dollar. Y'all ready for another work story? An especially sultry one? This one's kind of a confessionary tale, so buckle up. When I first started living on my own, I was desperate to make some extra cash. I had just gotten kittens and realized that I could not really afford them. So I started selling pics on the internet to feed my cats. Started an OF. And if anyone doesn't know what that is, you should probably go ask your mom. I started combing through Twitter to figure out what I was supposed to do. And I stumbled upon a group of other women. And it was just a support community. We all would share and retweet each other's content to get exposure and give each other free trial links to see what each other were doing and what was working and what didn't work. Well, for a brief period of time, I got pretty tight with this community. It was surprising when I found out there were a lot of 18 and 19-year-olds in this group. And I was one of the oldest people. One girl who was only 18 years old was the sweetest thing ever. She only talked in voice messages, and she had a very sultry voice. She was super sweet, but she got wrapped up in all this drama with this other member whose boyfriend was in the group for a little while. This girl's blowing up my phone over this dude that I barely knew. I had to tell her that I wasn't involved, didn't want anything to do with her business. But there were some perks about it too. One guy paid for half of my body piercings and bought me a $150 novelty toy. He probably spent $500 on me just in a short period of time. There were a couple of reasons that I quit. One of my friend's husbands was secretly talking to me on my platform, and my friend knew about it, and she didn't tell me, but that affected our friendship for a little while, but we're over it now. I had one dude that called me mommy. Then I had another guy who was my regular from when I was a cocktail waitress, and we were talking a little bit, and I let him know that I had one, and then he just started sending me pictures of himself, jerking off and stuff. And it made me uncomfortable. I just didn't know what to do in that situation. One guy I went on a couple dates with, I gave him a free trial link, and we were supposed to hang out, and he decided that he didn't want to hang out because he had something else to see. Am I still doing it now? No. Will I do it again in the future? Who knows? Maybe. Hey folks, I got some fresh work stories for you. A woman came in today, and she wanted to buy us just a small vibrator, and I helped her choose one. Then when I was testing it to make sure that it would turn on, I said, if you use this, you can feel the vibration, and it was just a bottle of hand sanitizer. It's just standard that we use hand sanitizer before we touch any of the products that we sell. She took the hand sanitizer and just put it in her hand, and then tried to touch the toy. She didn't even rub it in or anything. She just had this glob of hand sanitizer in her hand. I had to say, don't touch it. Use the hand sanitizer, because she was touching it with her other hand that didn't have the hand sanitizer in it. She didn't realize it was hand sanitizer. She thought it was lube. Why would I lube up your hand to have you touch a toy? I had a guy come in here asking me all about the Redhead DVDs, and I could tell where this was going. I always know where this is going. This guy lingered around the store for an hour, and he told me he was going to be back.
He came in like 2 days ago and I helped him pick out a toy for a girl. I don't know if it's his girlfriend or whatever, but I'm getting a vibe from him. There's a dude that came in to the other store I was working at a few days ago, and he was like a traveler, and he had to use our phone to call people, and he's like, I know this is embarrassing, I'm at the adult store over on blah blah blah. And then he proceeded to just pick through all the porn, and then the next day his mom called the store asking if he was still there. Like, yes ma'am, he slept here. Had something weird happen last night. On Fridays, I do shipment and I work with another person, which doesn't happen all the time. So I ran out and got some food because it's a nice way to celebrate a Friday. And then I came back, set the food down, and then the store got rushed by patrons. One of the patrons was a Mexican man wearing a full lingerie set, like garters and heels and panties. It was a man. I was trying to put away the last of the shipment so that I could actually eat my dinner, and instead I had to get really close to this person in lingerie. She wasn't wearing makeup, just lingerie, and they would get right in my face with their translator because they didn't speak English. And I kept backing up and they kept getting closer, and they asked me which anal douche was the best one to buy via the Google Translate translator. I could smell their breath. And some of the translations were just really bad. Like, they were asking me about specific kinds of toys, and they wanted one that was not a hard plastic, and they're 30. So I assumed they wanted a soft toy under $30. I feel like they were trying to distract me because it was such a weird scenario, and I was putting away shipment, and it was really distracting. Hey, it's been a really weird night. I got some updates on some stuff that happened. So the guy that came in the other day who was wearing all the lingerie, apparently he comes to my coworker a lot and wants him to take pictures of him. And he'll do this thing where he gets on he spreads his legs out and sticks his butt out and just spreads them cheeks for the photo. You could totally see her package. One of my coworkers went upstairs into the arcade to give this guy his ticket that he left on the counter, and he just pushed my coworker up against the wall and licked his ear. Another homeless guy came in, and this guy had a lot of things to say, and he was talking about how he was messed up on K2. He was wearing a t-shirt that had a T-Rex on it, and he was doing a little dance because of it. And he also said some things such as, look, I wrote them down. We got, I like that raw tuna, and stop, drop, and lock. He called the DVD room the special room for some reason. And then he told me a story about a 15-year-old that got shot in the Pepsi parking lot. And I'm like, that's probably exactly why they were trying to move you. You were inebriated outside of a 7-Eleven in front of the ice machine. How are people going to get their ice? I don't know. I just told this dude that we were closing up, keep on keeping on or something. I don't know. Anyway, that's my news for the day. So here's just a quick spooky story for you. So I've been streaming a lot of video games lately. I was playing some Doki Doki Literature Club last night. And one of my coworkers sent me a message while I was playing it saying that someone had went into the arcade but had a knife, so we had to take the knife from them. And apparently the knife was covered in blood. Dried blood. I wasn't there for it, but it's creepy. One time a guy came in with an open carry, and if you have a permit, we'll let that happen, but that made me kind of uncomfortable. So the guy that came in with the pistol on his hip, with his open carry, whatever, ended up buying a extender for his wiener. So I think he was probably compensating for something. So that's my spooky story. I'm not dead yet. Y'all ready for today's work story? A couple of days ago, we had a vendor come and do a demonstration, and one of the customers was really, really interested because the demonstrator was a really beautiful woman, and he really wanted to see the live demonstration and was hitting on the girl, and my boss had to get involved. That actually happens a lot. I've got a lot of people that come in, and when I need to turn the toy on to make sure it works, saying that I'm gonna, like, I don't know, get naked on the counter or something. I don't know what they're thinking. It's not really that funny. I always know that people aren't serious shoppers when they come in groups and they giggle the whole time. And the only thing they ever buy is Pop Rocks or candied penis suckers. Because for some reason they're too shy to buy anything but weird candies shaped like phalluses. I get people that come in pretty regularly who want to buy stuff like anal toys or something, and then proceed to explain to me how they're not gay. Like I care at all. I like it better when you're gay. This job is wild and weird, and I'm glad y'all enjoy it. Because sometimes I'm tired of it. Hello, TikTok peeps, new and old, and welcome to your daily report. So a couple days ago, this girl came in, and she just started laughing when she walked through the door. And I knew exactly why. I said to her, "You didn't expect this to be a retail store, did you?" And she goes, "No, I thought this was a dance club." And she immediately grabbed a vibrator and brought it up to the counter and says to me, "I don't know how you could work here. I just couldn't do it." And it was so condescending. I was like, "Woman, the only reason why I don't think I can do it is because of people like you. And yet I still get up every morning and do it again." According to one of my coworkers, a guy came in looking for me because he started following me on TikTok. Don't do that. Don't do this. You're just trying to become a story on my TikTok. Here it is. Here it is. And it's a big warning. No, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. I have privacy needs too. Had a guy come in today and buy some toys and tell me, "I swear it's not for me, it's for my girlfriend." And I said, "I don't care if it's for you or not." But he kept going. Like they always do. This old guy came in last week and I was a little sus because he had this like carpenter's jacket on. But underneath it, it looked like he had like a weird pair of nipple boobs. And they just didn't fit up right. And they were just prominently sticking out of the jacket. And the security cams revealed that he had a full titty suit. And he got like dressed up in drag while he was up there. That's fine. I'm cool with that. But the fact is, it was surprising because he was dressed up like this carpenter dude. I told him not to trip and fall on the stairs, and he tripped and fell on the stairs. I hope his boob suit cushioned his fall. I also told him not to leave his ticket, and he left his ticket. He basically did everything I told him not to do. I want to say, I talk about like cross-dressers and lingerie man and things like that, but I do want to reiterate that I love the trans community. I've dated trans people. I've got nothing against them. I just think that it's funny to tell stories the way that I tell them because people seem to enjoy them. But I'm an ally, so I just figured I'd throw that out there while I had the time. Good morning. It's already been an interesting day. The guy whose mom called a couple weeks ago came back in today. I'm pretty sure it's the same guy. But he came in and bought like $150 worth of stuff, including a blow-up doll, and then told me he was on his way to work. He was disappointed that he didn't have enough money to get I Want to Finish Inside Your Mom Volume 2. He was really nice though. I feel kind of bad. One guy came in the store yesterday and he walked past me and he goes, "Do you work here?" And I said, "Yeah, but there's someone else there right now. Like, I'm just taking a break." And he goes, "Well, God bless you for the work that you do." And I'm like, I'm not sure if it's God that's blessing me. I sold Legs the Mistress last week. I'm gonna miss her, but she's going to a good home. Yesterday, I had a guy come in the store and I helped him find some stuff. And then when he was checking out, he looks over and he goes, "You're the girl from TikTok, aren't you?" And I'm like foiled. People gotta stop finding me. I'm not real. I don't exist. It's okay. I'm sure I'll get used to it. But you guys have to get used to all my Clover and Lieutenant Danger hair, alright? I like cats. Anyway, that's my daily report. Hello, mortals. I don't know how I got here today, but here I am. A human came in today and had some things to say to me. And this human saw me using my magic light to check the dollar bill that he gave me. And he said to me, "That's a cool light you've got there." And I said, "Yes, it's my magic light. It helps me check and see if the bill is real." And I said, "I wouldn't want to use this upstairs in the arcade room. They do interesting things in the Naked Human movies." And then he said he used to manage hotels and use those to check the rooms. And he said it was disgusting. And I said, "It's not that much different here, darling." And then he said, "In one place it's expected, and in the other it's not." And then he turned around and started walking up the stairs, and he had on a pair of arseless chops. I saw his butt. And then another guy came in, looked straight at me and said, "What are you doing for Halloween?" And I was like, "Samhain? This. I'm staying here." And he goes, "Do you want to exchange numbers?" And I was like, "Darling, what on earth number do you want from me?" 666. That's how I call Baphomet. I said, "You can call me your ancient demon queen, but only until you leave." Anyway, lots of demons here to watch over. I've got my work cut out for me. Welcome to hell. Hello, Internet. I'm hard at work today. I had a guy come in and look at some DVDs earlier today, and he dropped a whole bunch and they hit the floor. And I was like, "Don't be breaking stuff over there." And he said, "Sorry, I got too excited." And I just said, "That's okay, everybody does." It's true though, people are always knocking down DVDs. It's almost like they're over there playing Jenga or something on who's the hottest MILF. One time somebody asked me if anything hot ever happened in the arcade, and just so you guys know, that's the adult movie theater where I work. And I said no, it's usually just lemon parties. That's when you're 50 plus and you're looking for love in a dark room multiple times in one sitting. Yeah, I see a couple of those sometimes. It's like speed dating for wrinkly dicks. So I had something interesting happen. This guy, I'm gonna call him Abe. This guy was so wasted. I just thought he was challenged in some way. He had these huge headphones on, just talking funny. At the end of the night, this old man's taxi came in. He was trying to fight this old man for the taxi. And I had my gloves on, trying to separate them, like physically. And Abe is just sitting on the bench, yelling at himself. All kinds of crazy stuff. It's not Adam and Eve. I want to lick someone's butthole. I'm an angel. And then he looks at me and my coworker and says, "I'm here to save you." That was almost threatening. Well, I finally ask him who he's talking to. And he goes, "I'm talking to Jesus." "Who are you talking to?" I say, "I'm talking to you." And the best part is while all of this was happening, these beautiful fireworks exploding over his head in the background. Finally got him in his taxi though. That was a pretty wild night. Hey everyone, I'm in the break room today. I'm feeling really overwhelmed with the tension, so now I'm hiding. Anyway, this is where I go to hide from people sometimes. Just wanted to show you some snacks I picked up. I got some peanut butter M&Ms. Those are my favorite M&Ms. I got Halo Infinite gummy worms. Isn't that cool? Heck yeah. They got winter edition Red Bull, the pomegranate kind. And because I'm Pomegranate Princess, I thought I'd give you a first look into if this is good or not. Dang it, the phone is ringing. It's got a pomegranate taste. It's subtle. It's not like tart or anything, which is surprising. Usually pomegranate stuff's really tart. Here's all the lingerie people stole the panties off of, which is rude because now we can't sell them. I hope you enjoyed the pile of ketchups we got here, as well as some coconut juice. A guy came in today and he bought some toys and was like, "My girlfriend says I should try something new." And it was an anal toy. And I said, "Doesn't hurt to try, unless you're not prepared." Then when I went to turn it on to make sure it worked, he made the same joke everyone else makes about me testing it. And then I was like, I don't want to talk anymore. One time, this guy came in, and it was my friend.
Hey.
So what's new?
There's a Funyun shortage. And it's like, it's a fucking serious thing, okay? It's my favorite food, especially like when I get super fucking baked. But oh my god! So I went to King Soopers, Safeway, and then I think it was another Safeway. But they didn't have any goddamn Funyuns.
I love Funyuns. You know, one time I did an advertisement for school on Funyuns.
No.
Hey there. It's been a busy day today. I'm in the break room again. I just finished eating my dinner. I had the bourbon steak from Applebee's. My friend had quesadillas, just in case you were wondering. It was good. When I was on my way to get dinner, the Disney villain parked right next to me and honked his horn, and I looked over and he was just looking at me like this. And I looked over at him and waved, and then backed up and left. I saw a guy come in with a pair of shorts that were cut straight down the middle like a skirt, but they were obviously a pair of shorts. I don't know what he was trying to achieve. He might as well have just brought a skirt with him. We sell a skirt here that says fuck you, and I think that probably would have been a lot more appropriate for what he was going for. I got recognized at work again today, and my friend who loves the Funyuns said that he went and bought beer in his skeleton onesie and someone called him the Funyun guy. So, we're getting famous over here. Anyway, that's my daily report. So a shipment came in a day early, so it's just me doing it by myself. I had a guy come in who bought a bunch of DVDs, and he told me that he wanted them out of the box. Helped him open all the plastic, and I said, if you want to help me take these out of the box, I made them easier for you. And he goes, no, I'll just keep looking. While I had a line and all this shipment to do, and I decided that I was going to unwrap these DVDs so slowly that he was forced to help me. So that was a win. We got a bunch of new MILF DVDs in, so I hope the guy who comes in who has to call his mom will be here, because he'll have a lot of new stuff to look through. So here's your daily report so far. Good morning, internet people. I'm pretty tired this morning because Lieutenant Danger was screaming all night and then trying to snuggle me and then jumping away as soon as I get comfortable. Cats are a thing. So a guy came in today and he went into the arcade movie theater and I heard his phone ring and he answered it and said, "Hey, I'm at work," and started to proceed to have all these details about what he was doing, and I was like, that's not what you're doing. You're getting a handy from a stranger. More like being at work at the sausage stand. I'm the only one who's at work here. One time, this white lady came in, and she was really nice. We were talking, and she said that it's dangerous out here, and she gave me this glitter alarm and pepper spray. It was nice of her, because I left my pepper spray at home that day, and now it's on my keys. So you guys that say that I never talk about anything wholesome or nice that happens, or I never talk about ladies, that's because ladies rarely cause any issues. They give me stuff and they're nice. So ladies, please come in and be nice and give me stuff. Alrighty, internet. Hope y'all have a nice day. Mwah. Hey there, my loyal degenerates, and welcome to your daily report. The Disney villain came in and we had a chat together. I found out he's from Mexico, but I could have sworn he's from Agrabah. He's Jafar's minion. One guy came in and asked to use the bathroom, and when I said, "Here, let me unlock it," he goes, "You're always so nice to me." And I said, "I can stop. I don't know, I wouldn't make you hold it on purpose. Then I'd have to clean up the mess." Have you ever played The Sims? That's bad. So we have this product here, and it's a face mask with a hole in it. It's called a BJ mask, and I've never sold one. Everybody looks at them and laughs though, but it is the most impractical thing that we sell. Why can't you cut your own hole in your own face mask? And it's like $7.99. That's like a whole like $2.99 more than a regular face mask at 7-Eleven, and it has less material. Plenty of people with stocking fetishes just rip a hole through the middle. Why can't we do the same with face masks? Can you imagine just ripping someone's face open? I feel like that'd be real satisfying. The only person I wouldn't want to do that to is Melina from Mortal Kombat. You know what I'd like to see? I'd like to see one of those strap-on dongs that you put on your face and someone else wearing the BJ mask. It's just as useless as if you were doing it the regular way. Just like this product. I don't know who they were trying to impress with that. Alright, we're in the lounge area of the arcade. We got a foosball table. We got a Rampage cabinet. We got a Pac-Man cabinet. And we got a Mortal Kombat 2 cabinet. Heck yeah! My coworker said one time there was a guy playing the arcade cabinets with his pants pulled down and his joystick out. He was trying to finish himself. Finish him! Okay, I got the lights on, but I figured I'd do a little walkthrough of the arcade. I wonder why the lights aren't working right here. Oh, I see. It's just like a maze. We've got some curtained booths and like long hallways and stuff with movies on the TV. Like here's the couch. The one with the no context orange. There's some movies playing in there, so I gotta stop. I hope you enjoyed your daily report. Good morning, people of the internet. Somebody stumbled and fell in the arcade and left a person-sized hole in the wall. So that happened. I also cleaned a bunch of cigarette butts out of the corner of one of the booths. I don't even know how that got there, because I didn't smell any cigarettes, but someone just decided that it was gonna be their trash can. The other night, I had to chase somebody out of the parking lot with my mag flashlight because they were hanging out in the back parking lot after close. And I can't close when you're hanging out back there. So don't do that. One time I was closing up the store and a guy was banging on the door, and then I saw him jump the fence into the back parking lot that I had already locked up, and he was just like hanging out back there. And then the guy was just waiting in his car in the front parking lot, and then a white van came, and then he drove off with the white van. Apparently this wasn't the first time someone was banging on the doors after close. Don't do that. And then a woman came up with her car still running and got out of her car and started banging on the door. And then when she realized we were closed, she got back in the car. Like, at least call the phone or something, or say something. Don't just bang on the door and then leave. That's creepy. I guess word got around that I have a thing for drummers, because people be drumming on the doors like they're trying to win my heart, but that's not how you do it. People be treating my workplace like it's some kind of rock concert, I guess. Anyway, there's your daily report. Hey there, internet people. It's been a pretty slow night. A guy came in and he asked me a question that I hate to be asked, and it's, what does your boyfriend think about you working here? I hate that question for two reasons. First off, my partner has no say in where I work. Second off, you're implying that I'm straight and probing to see if I have a boyfriend. Sometimes when people ask me that question, I say my girlfriend's cool with it. I had 3 people call tonight asking if we were a strip club. And one guy was asking me for recommendations for the best strip club in town. But I don't go to strip clubs here, so I couldn't answer that question. Apparently, people have been asking about car cages all day. And when I asked what the deal with that was, a guy came in and told me that it's Locktober, which doesn't even make sense because it's December right now. Because, you know, you got No Nut November, and you've got, like, No Shave November. But apparently we're restricting Richards all month. Anyway, we're sold out of dick cages. Don't be a dick about it, guys. A woman came in and she was, like, really pissed off. Apparently, she was mad at her sister for having her open a double-sided dildo for Christmas last year, so she wanted to get something to make her cry this year. And I know she wanted me to help her, but I didn't want anything to do with it. She started ranting to me about how her sister identifies as a dude and wouldn't refer to them as he, which I found was really rude, so She went on a rant about how her brother was with a Mexican person and got her this double-sided dildo because she was dating a white guy and that his thing wasn't big enough. And she opened it in front of her grandmother, and that made her really embarrassed. And this woman was really, really mad about it, like she's out for revenge. She only bought some dick cards and a vibrator. Well, there's your daily report. Hello, internet people, and welcome to my last week at work. Today's another surprise shipment day, so I'm not too thrilled. We got candy canes. Fail. The guy who brings in shipment told me not to give any candy canes to anyone going into the arcade, because I know they're gonna come out a different color. Got enough gross shit to deal with back there. A guy came in today, and he smelled like Vicks Vapor Rub. I guess he was trying to decongest some pussy. A guy with a nice mustache came in and traded in some Mommy Milker DVDs. These old folks coming in at like 10 a.m. in the morning to buy pornography like they just got back from a Denny's and the waitress reminded them of a lost love. One time, people backed up the toilets by just putting all kinds of stuff in there, and it got all over the parking lot because the septic system messed up. And then people were peeing in the trash cans in the back. That sucked. Stop flushing butt plugs down the toilet. We got signs back there now that said, don't piss in the trash. Shouldn't have to remind people that. It's not gonna be my problem for very much longer, though. You guys almost ready for Pomegranate Princess Season 2? Get ready for some new reports. But here's your daily one. Take care. Hello, and welcome to the grand finale of Work Stories at the Adult Store. Gonna miss all the old man orgies on this couch. So a guy came in to buy some cream chargers, and he asked me, are you a natural redhead? Were you born that way? And I said, yeah. And he goes, I bet you get hit on a lot. And I said, yeah, I do. And he goes, well, I'm not gonna do it. And I said, alright, well, you know, I get a lot of creepy folks in here who have things to say. And he goes, well, I'm not creepy, but you can find me at this establishment. This is where I work, and this is when I'm gonna be there. And I'm like, okay. He's like, I'm not gonna hit on you, girl, but here's my info in case you want to come hit on me. So another guy came in today, and he wanted to check out one of these really big silicone toys we have called, I'm just gonna call it F My Hard C. And it took me forever to get it out of the box. It was the flimsiest thing ever. And the styrofoam on it was just getting all over the place. It got in my hair. And then the guy didn't want to buy it, so I had to put it away. I guess the worst part about it was it wasn't really hard. It was more like F my flaccid C. One of these days, someone's gonna buy Pin the Hose on the Fireman, and I'm not gonna be around to see it. Or maybe even Dickhead Hoopla. On the bright side, somebody did trade in Big Fat Moms today, as well as Big Booby MILFs too. Love how it's impossible to get a full collection of some of these DVDs because I've never seen a Volume 1. Only rarely do I ever see a Volume 1.